Okay, thank you for clicking on the Ochanos channel today. I am trying to solve a sound problem. Yeah, I just can't get the sound right. Whatever. Let's get into it. Okay, so I'm over at TikTok right now, and I found this interesting. I noticed in X there's a lot of racist comments going on about America from Chinese shills. And then I see this on TikTok, which is, it's a Chinese app made by China. But
代表你的肤色，它并没有歧视你，是黑呀、
你就
you already
ask for
said.
me
真好，来烤冷面的小美女，
哥们儿
还行
长得黑呀，
还可以的，
跟外国朋友在这一起整。
Man, you're too
哥们
black.
儿挺黑呀。
你就不应该那么说，你知道吗？
啊，
你说的一点都不礼貌，你知道吗？
代表你的肤色，它并没有歧视你，
没有
是黑呀、
你不应该那么说，这个
Okay, for this you have to take it with a grain of salt. Vladimir Zelensky is saying that there's 150
for
plus
Russia who were
shoulders.
recruited on social media. This comes after Ukraine captured two. Zelensky says there are more than 150 Chinese
that
soldiers
was
fighting
captured-
for Russia
or
who
captured.
were recruited on social media. This comes after.
I don't see how that could be possibly known. I mean, you just have to be logical about things. So maybe they were Chinese soldiers that were recruited to fight for Russia, but that's Russia's doing, and they would be considered mercenaries or Russian soldiers if they signed a contract. You know, we have mercenaries, or we have Americans over there fighting for Ukraine, so it's really no different. I don't think the number really matters. We probably have way more than 150 American soldiers over there. Big, great news. Yeah, there were a couple of Chinese nationals that were caught over in Ukraine fighting, but also American soldiers have been caught in Ukraine fighting by the Russians. So comes around, goes around, right? So the Chinese are currently engaging in preparation. This is their landing craft that they have to invade Taiwan. I think that music is copywritten, so I have to turn it off. So basically, it's a pontoon system, and the pontoons are released from the bottom of the barge. It comes close to shore, and the pontoons lift the barge up out of the water, and then it connects to another barge, and the barges are going to be used to offload troops through troop carriers that they've ramped up production on those particular barges. They have 5 of them right now, and they have another 4 in production over at their Chinese production facility. Okay, this might be interesting for you to know what China is building.
10 times the size of the... In 2022, you can still... China is building the world's biggest military command center. 10 times the size of the Pentagon. Intelligence analysts call it Beijing's military city, sitting 18 miles southwest of the capital. Experts believe its main purpose is to prepare for a war with the US, with bomb-proof bunkers designed to shield China's top officials from a nuclear attack. New satellite images show China is building fast. In 2022, you can still see some residential homes. A year later, gone. In 2024, construction took off, with deep holes sprawling 1,500 acres.
Okay, so what would the purpose of China building this be? Well, I mean, when we Americans, when we build something new and we build like, let's say the Pentagon, when the Pentagon was built, we built it for a purpose. I'm sure that, China has a lot of land that's not being used. So they like to go big. They like to go very big. And if you don't know very much about China, I'll let you know that China has entire cities that they've built that are brand new buildings, brand new, beautiful, beautiful buildings that are empty. Empty. No one's in them. And there's, 50 plus buildings, brand new, skyscrapers, and you got maybe 3 people in them. So China right now, with the manipulation of their currency and the way they operate, they build. It's part of their plan to keep their population working. So, with that said, this structure is just another part of their plan. They plan on having a world power, through the Belt and Road Initiative. So this is part of that plan. Here's something important for you to know.
800 billion of U.S. debt. If China owns 800 billion of U.S. debt, which they do, then of course the United States, as the borrower, has to pay interest, which means that you and I and everybody else gets to pay taxes every year that go to Washington, where they don't fund our roads or schools or hospitals. It's money that the United States government collects and sends to Beijing to pay interest on the debt. And the Chinese use to develop the Red Army. You understand?
Man, just play that again. Listen to that. China is not our friend. China is not our friend. They have a plan to have world dominance by 2049. Listen, us cutting ties with China, bringing back production back to the United States is probably the best thing that we could do right now. Yeah, it's going to be a couple of hard years because we have to build our facilities. We have to build or find other countries that can produce what we need. China has a monopoly right now. Basically, we're cutting the head off the snake. Wow, that sounded like a bunch of spit. We're cutting the head off the snake. So, with that said, that's all I have for today. I really appreciate you watching this long. If you have, hit the like and subscribe button, and also share. Every single like, every single subscribe helps the channel grow. Everybody loves my bird Pete. I'll catch you next time. Bye.